Hello, hello, hello. I'm very late on getting this out. I'm hoping I have no internet trouble. There's a lot of solar flares, and one of the groups I'm in, they were saying there's like this uh, magnetic storm, one of the biggest ones. So this explains why I'm having so many issues with the internet. So this is going to be your full moon forecast. Normally, I try and get this out a little earlier than this, but like I told my Patreons, because I got theirs out late too, um, having some family issues with a relative, no one in my immediate household, and that's really all I'm going to say on that topic right now. Um, it's been very enlightening the last couple of weeks, but let's get right to it. So we do have a full moon in Capricorn at 8 degrees this evening, Monday the 29th. In modern astrology, Mercury went retrograde, but in my astrology, it went retrograde about the 19th. So there's that. Now, this is also called the strawberry moon or the rose moon. And you will notice at this time of year, many cities have like strawberry festivals. It's not an accident, but a sign that all humans, I don't care what path you're on, are connected to the land and the lunar phases. We're all children of the stars. Remember that. Now, the days are growing shorter now, but the energy is still it's abundant, it's vibrant, and it's really full of life. The sun is shining bright, um, and the energy is strong. Now, the Capricorn full moon is going to be all about accomplishments, career, public image, ambition, its goals, and its success as well. Now, over the next few weeks, we can expect to hear news. Over the next few weeks, God, I hope you could hear that. I just realized my audio wasn't on. Just a second. Okay. So these next few weeks, we can expect to hear news about politics and political figures. This is government issues. And this is also like conservative views that might be imposed on the people. Um, I believe there's an issue going on now between the separation of church and state, and they're trying to abolish that. It is in the Constitution. That's what our founding fathers created, a separation of church and state. But so that could be a part of it, imposing one's beliefs on another. Now, this energy always focuses on the beginnings and the endings of people's careers and jobs. So this can be where corporations merge or file for bankruptcy. And when we have those situations, they do affect the little guy with employees being laid off. So there's that possibility as well. Just a possibility, not set in stone. Now, it's advised not to create any drama out in public, as most of us are going to be under the microscope at this time. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the great malefic planet. And when it wands, it can bring on like some negative energies such as suppression or control. It's abuse, manipulation, fear, disease, depression, and even karma. Remember, Capricorn takes on two energies. In the positive, it is about discipline and structure and um, practicality, but when it's in its negative, it's everything I just mentioned: manipulation, control, they use and they abuse. Um, the more positive aspect is, like I said, logic, practicality, discipline, loyalty, and good karma. Doing good deeds matters to those who deserve it, and Capricorn and Pisces moons are extremely karmic in nature and do have a tendency to make a lot of us depressed, especially those of us with really strong Capricorn or Saturnian placements within our own star chart. You will definitely be affected by this energy. And I've heard people say today is what's going. The energy is just off today. So, didn't they turn CERN off today till 2030? So I maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But it will be all the earth signs that feel this moon, along with the cardinal signs, but also all souls born with a sun, moon, ascendant, or dragon's head or tail in Capricorn. Um, you will feel this the strongest. Now, June 30th could bring aggressive behavior at the worst time, as Mars is going to square the North Node, which is in Pisces, and Mars, I believe, is in Gemini right now. So I'm also a little concerned about the 4th of July as well, due to a conjunction with Mars and Uranus, both in Gemini. This energy is impulsive, it's rebellious, and it's dangerous. So, general rule of thumb, fireworks and alcohol never mix. Okay, it's a deadly combination. So choose your surroundings wisely for for the 4th. And what else could I say here? Just choose to be with people you know well. We're not in a platonic phase, but we are going to be going into a Uranic energy, and it's right on the cusp there of that. So something to be concerned about. Just know your surroundings. All right, so since the full moon is in Capricorn, I have decided, hey, Leslie, how are you? It's good to see you. It's been a while. All right, so since the full moon tonight is in Capricorn, I will read Capricorn's forecast. This full moon is right on you, Capricorn, the house of self, soul's purpose, its beginnings, appearances, first impressions, and of course, your attitude. And these past few months, the universe has been testing many Capricorn souls um, with situations of self-worth, value, and even regret. Um, I myself, as your astrologer, am a Capricorn, and I can tell you I have been tested these last couple of months with self-worth. And there's just certain jobs I will okay, leave it at that. Um, so yes, there may have been regret as well, but change is ahead. And these past 18 months, the Pisces Virgo dragon has brought a lot of Capricorns, because that dragon head is sitting right in your third house of communication. It's brought us very strong mental clarity, good communication skills, creative visions, things like that. Anything and everything related to the third house. Um, it has also brought opportunities or headaches in all things related to the ninth house, which is the house of higher learning, higher knowledge, courts, laws, justice, the animal world, foreigners, foreign lands, things like that. So now Mercury retrograde could bring, because we are in Mercury retrograde, they could bring, like, especially for Capricorn, because Mercury is in Cancer. That's sitting in your seventh house. So that's marriage, contracts, partnerships. So Mercury retrograde could bring back ex-husbands, wives, lovers. You might get a phone call. They pop up out of the blue. Uh, it could even be like past business partners too. So that's a possibility. Sign no contracts, but you can still enjoy the nostalgia if the experiences of your past were happy ones. Now, Capricorn moons give you the power to have more discipline, make change, and progress forward. Focus on better health, and know that abundance isn't just material possessions, Capricorn, but it's also the spiritual knowledge as well. Okay. Best of luck to you guys. So as I conclude here with this forecast, I do want to say that um, I'm trying to find words and how to put it. July, This July, and I've seen a lot of other astrologers say this, is probably one of the most unique months of maybe even the century or the decade, for a lot of people. Now we're heading into some very uncharted waters, especially for July and August, and it will be intense for the world at large. Now, July begins and it ends with a Uranic phase, making for a very rebellious, revolutionary, and volatile energy. 4th of July, once again, could be dangerous, shocking, and big surprises could await America. And that's a possibility. Remember this: Rome did not fall in a day. The people noticed that their taxes weren't fixing things anymore, like roads or whatever. Back way back then, you still paid taxes. That should tell you that Rome, or aka America, is about to fall, to a certain degree. Okay. I'll get into what's ahead for the United States when I give you guys the free dragon forecast. I'm already seeing, though, this next dragon rear its ugly head because, especially the head, the tail. As France, the country of France, has had the hottest weather. They're the hottest place on the planet right now, even more hotter than Phoenix, Arizona, which I'm 2 hours away from. And as of this afternoon, there have been 1,300 deaths in France, heat related. So you're not hearing that on the news. I haven't heard that on any news channel at all. I had to go and find that out through, God, I think it was Midas Touch or Aaron Parnas, one of those two. That's where I heard it. But I haven't heard that on ABC or anything. Now, the Aquarius Leo dragon will bring many issues. Asia, all of Asia, doesn't matter whether it's Korea, North Korea, South Korea, China, Japan, Philippines, any of those countries, all ruled by Aquarian energy. And France and Italy are ruled by Leo energy. I didn't put this in the newsletter, but I'm going to say it now. Now, the United States is coming up on its 250th birthday. It is a Cancer nation, born July 4th, 1776. However, the United States has its natal dragon's head in Leo, and the tail is in Aquarius. So when the tail sits in Aquarius, it's dishonesty with UFOs. It's dishonesty with disclosure. And at this point, and me going down so many damn rabbit holes with UFOs, I even believe now that a lot of abductions were done by our own government. Yeah. But the energy is reversed now, and the dragon's tail is going to be sitting on the United States' second. So this country is most definitely going to feel that energy. And one of my predictions that I will give the general public is that a lot of our youth are going to die. Okay, I don't know how else to say that. A lot of children are going to die, whether it's through a draft in the military, but the young men and women of this country, there is a strong possibility of a lot of lives being lost, especially with children. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's it. On another note, the earthquakes we're noticing are getting stronger and more frequent, and the weather is becoming more erratic and intense. Once we move into Aquarius energy, when that dragon shifts, they're going to get even crazier. You're going to get ready to see stuff that's really never happened. When I say we're in uncharted waters, we're in uncharted waters. Even as an astrologer, astrologers are doing readings and predictions on things that have never ever happened in the 14,000 years of people being on this planet, um, for the last shift. There's been like 4 worlds before. So, but the paradigm shift is here. And I keep asking myself, why in the hell was I reincarnated to this damn timeline? I think that question is something we're all asking ourselves from time to time. It's like, okay, can it get any crazier? What's on the bingo card next, people? It's just crazy. Dark Venus, hello. How are you? Good to see you. I think I know who that is. Yes, me too. I sat there and I laid down looking at the ceiling. This was a couple of nights ago. And this was after watching the news. Okay. And I said to myself, why in the hell? How did I get stuck reincarnating on this timeline? Why? Why? God. But yeah, I'm asking myself the same question. I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe it's because, we're tarot readers and spiritualists and we see things in a different light. I don't know. I just don't know. But it's what I can say is this. The energy that's coming in with the Aquarian energy, it's not, you're not going to be that loner anymore. It is about community. It is about groups, and it is about coming together as a collective and helping one another. Because I don't see us getting through it unless we have help from each other and one another. That's just how I'm seeing it. I think the United States is getting ready to go into you. If you thought the depression of the 20s was bad, we're getting ready to go into not a recession, but a depression. With that whole Strait of Hormuz being shut down and oil not getting, through, and people paying these ungodly prices for gas. And I'm not complaining because yesterday I gassed up at Costco and I paid $3.47. I don't think I've paid $3.47 in quite a while. So it has gone down a little bit. But with what's going on right now in Iran, which we're not getting half the information that's what's really going on there. Anything we can do to hedge against inflation? Well, start buying precious metals, even more than crypto right now. Crypto is tanking really bad. All of mine is on a hard wallet. It is not on the exchanges. And I actually cashed out some Bitcoin a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't a lot, but enough to get my kid's car fixed. So I've been doing that. Precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, copper. That I've been telling people too. Yes, precious metals is something that, I call it the money of the gods. When you think about it, gold. Gold is a precious metal, and they call it the metal of the gods. The second one is silver. Silver is something I am heavily invested in. I don't have a whole lot of gold. I don't have a whole lot of money to buy gold, but silver, I started getting into silver in like 2017, something like that. And I've made a pretty good profit. Let's just put it this way. I've probably 7 times my value, which is good. But if we're in a depression and everything shuts down, we're going to need to use that as a bartering tool. We're coming into the days of bartering is what's getting ready to happen, where we barter with people. And, I'll trade you, I don't know, I'll trade you a cup of sugar for some coffee, or, that's kind of where we're heading here if the economy continues the way it is. And, it's definitely the paradigm shift where everything is just unbelievable. They're uncharted waters. I don't know what else to say. This is unfamiliar energy right now. I know some people don't like gold because of the 80s, but most agree it's a good investment. Did something that, what did it have, the gold crash in the 80s? Is that what happened in the 80s with gold? Well, here's the interesting thing about gold. So I think this was before the Depression. Um, the federal government was talking people into exchanging or trading in their gold. They were making it illegal for you to have gold. Okay. So some of my relatives who had just gotten to this country and did have a little bit didn't give it to their government. They just said, I don't have any. But, that can happen again where our government wants our precious metals away because gold and silver and even platinum and copper. I never realized how expensive copper is. Um, there's some very holistic attributes to copper, okay? That I'm realizing why they got rid of it in plumbing. They used to put copper piping in plumbing. Yeah, it was expensive, but there's so many holistic properties to drinking out of a copper cup. I take my vitamins every morning in copper cup. I don't have it right here. It's in the kitchen, but um, there's a lot of medicinal properties with copper, and they used to use them in plumbing, and then they got rid of them. Just poof, gone. Makes you kind of wonder why. But copper's in big demand right now. I see it all over my newspapers. Come in and trade in your copper wiring or your copper this or your copper that. So, and copper is very Venus infused. Copper is the alchemy of the planet Venus. So, and it is the alchemy of both Taurus and Libra. Copper. So I would stick with precious metals. I will be honest with you. I'm not investing anymore in Bitcoin because I think it's had its run. I mean, last year at this time, or May of 2025, Bitcoin was at its highest at 125 or 120, 126K. And I think it's down to like, what is it at today? Hold on, I want to go in and look. I think yesterday I saw it at 59K, and that's more than half. It's gone away more than half. XRP is down to $1. If I hadn't bought XRP all those years ago for like 7 cents, 8 cents, 10 cents, 50, I think 50 cents was the most I've ever paid for XRP. I would be pissed if I was an investor right now, but I'm just sitting on it because I'm still not losing any money, you know. Um, so let me go see where Bitcoin is. I'm very curious. Bitcoin. It's back up to 60K, but it's been fluctuating up and down, up and down. Yeah, a few days ago it was at 59K. So I don't know. I know a lot of people would say, oh, how you can't do that. You have to keep investing. Not really. Right now I'm just kind of focusing more on precious metals than anything else. If you have a lot of money, this is a buyer's market, not a seller's market. So I say this a lot, but with the economy the way it is, uh, the real estate market is about to crash. Even here in my neighborhood, there's 2 houses up for sale near me, and they've been up for a long, long time. No movement. Um, so it is a buyer's market. And so if you have extra cash, tap into real estate, and even better, look into foreclosures, okay? Because that's where you're going to make your money. You can turn around and rent them out, fix them up a little bit. You can never go wrong with real estate. It's probably one of the most sound and solid investments you could do. Um, especially in this day and age. You know, as I get older, I'm realizing shit, they're going to take our Social Security. I don't know what they take that out of my paycheck for. Why am I paying into it when you're just going to steal it and take it? When the government goes for that, you're going to see a big revolt like you've never seen before. I just don't know how else to say that. It's crazy. It's just some crazy, crazy, crazy things happening. Um, I was telling my Patreons last night, I come from a lot of men that served in the military and a couple of women too. Um, my dad was in the Army. My uncle was in the Navy. I have a cousin in the Air Force. I had another cousin in the Marine Corps. My own grandfather was in the Army on my dad's side. Um, so, yeah, I have a lot of people connected to the military, and some of obviously my dad and my uncle are not alive anymore, but some of my cousins who served in like Italy, in the Air Force in Italy, at their bases, were just saying that they're very frightened for their military, their fellow military men because and women, because this administration is getting rid of people that actually know the art of war. I mean, really, he's getting rid of all the top generals, all the admirals, all these like 5-star generals and admirals, and putting in yes men who don't know anything about warfare. I mean, really, do you really think a 5-time draft dodger knows shit from honey when it comes to warfare in the military? Certainly not. And you got the guy that's running the Department of War, DOJ, Department of Defense. He's a former news host. I mean, you can't make this shit up. This is like Dumb and Dumber. They're already putting out articles about Social Security being dried up in the next few decades. I believe that. That's why I'm talking about gold and real estate, because, I mean, if you have the money, buy real estate. I mean, if you have the means, just get the hell out of here. If you can get the hell out of the United States, do it. Do it. Because the next 5 years are going to be a living hell. And with the United States having a natal dragon's tail in Aquarius, the tail in Aquarius, on its 8th house of life, death, rebirth, transformation, this also makes sense as to why we are the only, we don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons, but we're the only country in the land that's used nuclear weapons. If anything, we shouldn't be having them either. And I just find it, I find it unsettling how nonchalant and casual these people in politics talking about nukes like it's a piece of candy. I mean, do you realize that it would just annihilate our planet? Yeah, I'm done. It's insane. But yeah, I do believe that Social Security is drawing up. I think this country is in a complete spiral right now. And this is not, I'm not like bashing on Republicans. I think both parties suck. I think both parties are not really in it for the people, and that's where the revolution's going to begin. People are going to start saying, hey, I did not vote for this. So, but yeah, girl, that's my plan. I want to go to Thailand in the next 2 years. I just got to figure out how to make money. Well, I don't want to do this, but I'm thinking about doing it myself. I'm thinking about taking classes in AI. That way I can work from home. Yeah, they're too busy building ballrooms and bunkers. Exactly. And giving money to another country. I'm not going to say the name because I'll probably get red flagged on here, but all of our taxes, all of it goes to another country, and that country gets free health care, free education, free this, free that, along with stealing Palestinian homes. So there's that. But yeah, something's got to give here. Um, I would do it. Go to Thailand, learn some basic AI skills. I'm not trying to push AI, but there's a lot of students. The Gen Z generation is struggling. They're out of college and they're not being able to find jobs because of this AI shit, which is going to be a detriment to the planet, first of all. And all these data centers that are depleting our resources. I mean, Jeff Bezos came out and said that the humans are consuming too much water and we need them for our data centers. So we know where the billionaires' priorities are, and it's not with the whole water is life for everybody. No, it's to feed your data centers because nobody gives a shit about human life. Pardon my French. But yeah, too busy. Definitely, Dark Venus, if you can get to Thailand, do so. Do so. Now, I didn't put this on. I'm going to conclude here, but I did not put this on my website. I'm still searching for that one person that bought a reading on my website, and I cannot find them. I've left tons and tons and tons of messages. Now, I am running another tarot special through the 4th of July, 7-card horseshoe spread for $25. It is not advertised on my website. It's only advertised on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I did even post it in my Patreon page, but it is not offered on my website, and you could pay through PayPal or Cash App. And the reason I did that, I wanted to throw in a special not using my website, because my website takes like a $25 reading. After they take theirs is going to be like $20. They take a lot. I'm not really too happy with Square, but it is what it is. But I did pull a tarot for this reading. I don't have time today to read anybody's tarot. But when things calm down with what's going on with my family, I will start coming on here at least once a week, maybe every Friday afternoon. But I did pull a tarot for the world at large, and I have to say it is rather appropriate. It's a very appropriate card. It's the Towers. And it's actually very appropriate for this full moon. Because what does Capricorn do? Oh, I can speak for myself here. Capricorn doesn't like something. They tear it all down, crush it all down to rebuild it back up. Well, the Tower card is technically a Uranic card. Uranus and Mars is what it's ruled by, but this is intense. This is an intense card. It's intense energy. It's about sudden upheavals. It's like I said, everything has to be crushed down to be rebuilt back up. It's like a disaster of some sort waiting to happen. It could be even Mercury's retrograde, so this could be a change in plans. It's not my immediate family, Dark Venus, but it's a family member. It's not in my immediate household, and it is major mental health issues. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. And, luckily, I'm no psychologist, but luckily I am surrounded. My 2 daughters are going for master's degrees right now in psychology. My client, who's retired, and I help her. I do things around the house for her and do like cooking and take her to appointments. She's a retired doctor of psychology with a PhD. So I have a good support system for asking, getting information and stuff like that. I have a real good support system, but the problem is the person that I'm dealing with thinks hey, I'm okay. And they don't need any help. So that's where I'm at right now with that. And it's just a little stressful. But Towers. So one more thing I want to say about the towers is sometimes when we get this card, it is all about having to do things the hard way. But it is generally nasty energy. And please remember, this is not for a human being. This is for the world at large because it is the full moon. Capricorn full moons can be a little destructive. Um, the energy is powerful, but like I said, everything will be broken down and built back up. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's they have 2 more years to go, but it's just, they want to leave too. My daughters want to go to Japan or Korea. They kind of want to leave the States as well. Um, so I don't know what they're going to do. I was kind of telling them maybe you should like think about Canada or Ireland. I know a lot of countries want younger people to come to their country, and Italy wants people on Sardinia, the island of Sardinia. So we'll see what they decide. Right now, we're just kind of focusing on their education, but it is what it is. Anyway, I promise I'm going to get on here next Friday. And when I get on here next Friday, because I don't have anything going on my calendar for Friday, I'm going to start doing weekly. I keep saying I'm going to do this, and every time I commit to it, something in my family happens and I have to postpone it. But I am going to try to start going on once a week. I print out an energy forecast on my patreon.com/astrostrega. It is free to the general public. You can go in there and download it or print it out, whatever. Yes, I've heard that too about the UK having issues. It's like that in a lot of places. Um, I don't say too much on here. There's a lot of platforms that are suppressing our voices. My daughter's best friend in high school moved there for 3 years. She moved back here. I'm not sure why. Not that she didn't like it, but there was something going on. She had to come back. Um, I was telling my daughter, I know of someone who moved to China right before Trump got into office because she's Mexican American, but that doesn't matter. You could be a person of color and been born and raised here in the United States, and you still end up being deported from a country that you were born in. I mean, that's just the cold, hard reality of it right now. Um, anyway, what was I saying about that? Hold on. Where was I going with that? Anyway, people are getting deported and they're American citizens, and it's becoming a really big problem, just like in England and in the United Kingdom. You and I have discussed this before, Dark Venus. One of the reasons, last year at this time I was working at a school, and I had a coworker I was working with that had an issue with certain races. Let's just put it that way. That didn't sit well with me. I am realizing as time goes on, there are a lot of people with that mentality. I just wasn't raised like that. I just was not raised like that. Maybe it's because as a kid, yes, my parents were incredibly religious, and the congregation that my parents were in was predominantly African American. So I'm maybe that's why I've had relatives, tell me, why are you talking to that person? Well, why not? Why not? She's a nice lady. I want to talk to her. I don't want to sit there and talk to your ignorant ass. I'm going to talk to the nice black lady. I mean, this is a disease that a lot of people have, and it's not just here in America. You know, friend of mine who was studied in Israel told me that if I ever went to Israel, you would be appalled at what you see there on how they treat the Ethiopian Jews. These are Jewish descent Ethiopian Jews, and they treat them like shit. School was not a good fit for you. I am too. It's just I'm really not working a whole lot right now. So I'm kind of I have one client. Take care of her, but it's not enough. But I'm still looking. But that's why I'm thinking about doing the AI, because I want to kind of work from home. I want to work remotely. With the price of gas and everything, it's just way too expensive. So, all right, ladies, I'm going to head out. Like I said, I owe you all a tarot pull next week. I can't do it today because I'm running behind on just about everything that's going on in my life right now. But like I said, I will be back, and I'm going to start coming on every Friday and reading up weekly portions of my energy forecast so that you guys kind of get the gist of what energy is going in. It is people want to talk about aliens, and the collective can't even get over. Thank you. Thank you. No, there's a book I just finished reading called Imminent, and I think I did show this on TikTok. I did a TikTok video, but um peace to you too, Leslie. It was so good to see you, and I hope to see you again soon. But there is a book I just finished reading called Imminent, and it's written by Luis Elizondo, who worked for the Pentagon. And a lot of the reasons why, thank you, Dark Venus, you too. One of the main reasons why it's taken so long for disclosure is because of the evangelicals that are in the Pentagon that are claiming that aliens are demons. Aliens are not demons. They're an alien race, like there's the human race. So what you're saying right there, people can't even, deal with the human race. And I always say that we're the human race, and our skin color is the sub race. So white, black, Asian, indigenous, or Hispanic. I mean, those are sub races. We're all still part of the damn human race. I just can't deal with that mentality. I just cannot. So I leave you with this. Remember, we're going into this is almost like the tipping point for the age of Aquarius to a certain extent. That's dragon head coming in. It's going to be more about community, taking care of one another, brotherly love, our fellow man, things like that. Will racism go away? I don't know. I mean, there could come a time when we're going to be racist to certain alien races that are on this planet. So who knows? Like I said, racism to me is a disease, and I don't know if there's a cure for it except for maybe love. Love is a cure for a lot of things. Love, kindness, and compassion. And you can see that with the World Cup. People don't hate each other. I saw some Scotsman dancing with an Arab guy who he was wearing his full turban, dancing together. It's our politicians that are the problem. It's not human beings per se. It's the politicians, because the World Cup has proven to me people get along, whether you're from Scotland, Venezuela, Iran, Germany, Italy, France. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the World Cup has proven to me that it's our politicians that are fucking this planet up. I cuss, sorry. Anyway, I will see you guys next Friday. Have a great weekend. Have a blessed full moon. Let me just make sure I finished everything. Yes, I'm wishing all of you a blessed full moon and a safe 4th of July. Look, once again, I do recommend you celebrating with close friends and family, as the moon will be waning, and probably not a good time to hang out in large crowds with a bunch of drunks. Fireworks and alcohol, once again, never mix, so keep that in mind. Drink lots of water if you are going to drink on the 4th. Have fun, but use common sense. Blessings to all of you, and to you ladies, blessings as well. Leslie, Dark Venus, have a great weekend. Happy 4th. Talk to you soon. Ciao.